This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, the microphone is speakers. Let me see.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now let me start now. Last time actually I was doing Selenium, and I think this is what we have done, in which I went to uh, the you need to work on the link specific to an area. So this is the area on which we are working. So bbc.com. If you look out here, this is the latest business news area. So you have to work on the links specific to this particular area. So you have to click on the links, get the title of the link page, and come back to bbc.com and click on the second link until all the links are clicked and their titles are coming. Now, during the course of this discussion and creating the script, we came across this tail element reference exception. In order to basically handle this, you actually created the cache memory again when you come back to BBC. That was what was discussed last time. Okay. Now, I will run this particular script to make you understand that what it is supposed to do. It is supposed to actually, you can see that it is supposed to get the address of the area which has all these five links, And from that area, you're trying to find out how many anchor tag A used to create to find out number of links in that area. So this will give you the number of links in that area, and then you know how many links are there. So use a for loop in which you will loop in from the first link, which will have index number 0. You'll click on the first link, and then get the title of that first link that you have clicked and print it out, come back to bbc.com. Now, when you actually, what happens when you click on the first link, these two cache memory that you had created gets lost. So that is why when you came back to the bbc.com, it was not able to click on the second link when I was incremented to 1. That is nothing but the index number of the second link. So that is the reason that you recreated the cache memory out here. And it was working fine. We'll need to check up that it is working still or not. So I'll just go and debug and start debugging it and see if it is working fine or not. Now, whatever I am showing you for the links is not only restricted to links, it can be used for any other web element or any other control also. Now, this is going to American Golf. Why? Just hold on. Why is this going to American Golf? What is this program then? Okay. Oh, last is not this. Sorry. The last time we have done this one. That is your mm, American Golf, and then you need to click on the. Okay, so this is not. We've already done this. American Golf. Hover your mouse over American Golf clubs. Click on wedges, and then you have to take the price before you drag this, and then you drag, and then they take the price after dragging. That was the situation. And we were facing a problem in which it was not able to hover the mouse over the golf clubs. Okay, so that was the problem we had faced. And that is why, if you look at, I'm trying to find out if the American Golf, the golf clubs menu button is displayed or not, or the golf clubs menu button is enabled or not, because Selenium works very peculiarly. If the element is not displayed, it will not perform any action. If the element is not enabled, it will not perform any action. But that is the reason I found out, I'm trying to find out if the golf club's menu button is enabled and displayed or not. After that, the location method was taken on the golf clubs to take the x and y coordinate of golf clubs. And the return type of the location property is a point class. The point class belongs to system.drawing namespace. So that is what I was trying to take, and then get x and y coordinate, because you can move to an element by the x and y coordinates also. But it was not needed, I believe so. So I can remove this right now. We'll see that later on. The action class was used to hover the mouse over the uh, called as the golf club. Let me put this point class, probably might be needed. So I will comment it at this point of time. Okay, so action class was used to move to this element by the address of the element. This is the XBAR of golf clubs. That is this one. Okay. Here's what I found. So the XBAR was taken, and that was the address, and then you move to the element by the address, and then you have to build and perform. And after that, you are trying to click on the wedges. Now you can click on the wedges by directly using the find element method. But I was trying to show you how to do a click on this element. Click on this element, whose XPath you can get from here. So you have to click on this element. So you have to right click and inspect. This is the link of our wedges. Okay. So you have to click on this element by moving to the element and then clicking on that, and that is by using the actions class. So we'll perform that activity, and then we will see the rest of the codes. So let's see it is performing that, because that was the problem we were facing last time. It was not clicking on golf clubs. It was not actually hovering on golf clubs and clicking on the wedges after that. So let's run this first. Still, this problem is there, and no such element exception. Unable to locate the element by the X bar of, I don't know what of this X bar, at line number 61. Line number 61 is this. So this is the golf clubs portion. So let's find out. Right click, inspect. This is golf clubs. Right click, copy the X bar, and try to put it out here. So let me give this new X bar which has come. And then try Let me run it once more. Ensure when you're using the action class, do not use your mouse or keypad. It might hamper the simulation that is going on. Unable to locate the element by the selector golf clubs. Oh, major problem. Okay. Is it enabled? It is enabled and it is displayed. True, it is coming for these two. Okay. I can increase implicit wait is 20 seconds given. This is an anchor tag A. The header navigation it is taking. Okay. This is I can also go by CSS selector. Let me check out the CSS selector. So driver dot find element by let's say dot CSS selector. You can copy that and then move to the element by W1 and perform. Let's see. Yeah, it performs by the CSS selector. Now it should click on wedges also. Yeah, it has clicked on wedges. Fine. So it has clicked until wedges. Okay, so this portion is not working with CSS selector for certain reasons I do not know. But by XPath, but by CSS selector is working. So I don't need to use the point class. I can point class was used to take the X and Y coordinate. And if you want to hover and put your cursor or put your pointer to the element by the X and Y coordinate, you have to apply this activity. When it's not required. Next is that you have to do vertical scrolling. And for vertical scrolling, because please understand one thing, this is the page right now. Now, what you are seeing is these elements. Now, actions class can only work on the elements which are visible in the viewport. Now, this particular slider is way down. So, if you want to basically slide, the sliding activity will not happen by the actions class. So you have to make this element visible and then slide it out. Now, before sliding, you got to take the price. After sliding, you got to take the price. Okay. So for sliding, you have to use. It can be a vertical or horizontal sliding. And for sliding, there is no classes and methods in Selenium, but it provides a interface called as the JavaScript executor interface. which will give you the X and which will basically help you in vertical scrolling or horizontal scrolling. But how up to what point you want to slide? You want to actually slide until this point because you are actually sliding this from left to right. So you get to take the X path or you want to take the CSS selector of that point. So you have to take it like this. So this is the HTML script. You got to take the X path of that, and that is what is taken out here. You can see. So first get the X and Y coordinate of the left point of the slider. Location property has to be used, and it belongs to the system.drawing interface. Location property returns a point class. So this is where it has been used. And this is actually used to get the X and Y coordinate of the left point of the slider, and which is equal to 112 by 1812. That is what we got last time. And now by JavaScript executor, we need to execute. So, so Selenium does not have any classes method to do vertical or horizontal scrolling. We have to use JavaScript executor for that. And JavaScript executor is actually used to execute JavaScript commands. So this is the iJavaScript executor, and what you have done is nothing but typecast a driver. The driver is pointing towards the uh, it is pointing towards the Chrome driver. So that means you are casting the driver. Okay, you are casting the driver to work as a iJavaScript executor, and then you have to use the execute script method of the iJavaScript executor, in which the first argument is nothing but any of the JavaScript command. So this is the JavaScript command to scroll, and this is the X coordinate, this is the Y coordinate. Now this is the X, this is the Y. Now why I'm taking X is equal to 0? I am taking X is equal to 0 because I don't want to do horizontal scrolling. I need to do vertical scrolling. And why I am taking 1700, not 1812? That is because of the fact that I will show you why. Let me take 1812 and run this particular script. Let me run it from scratch because I moved my mouse. That created a problem. I will put my mouse down. Now this will do a vertical scrolling. So you see that it has got vertical scrolling. But if you look at this is the element which still becomes hidden because of this menu buttons. You can see that. And that is the reason I took a y coordinate number which is less than 1812. So that's why I put 1700. And now after doing that, you will find out the element is visible in the viewport. Now this element is visible in the viewport. Now can perform the activity of sliding. So first, before sliding, you have to take the price. So this is the X bar of that area. Which area? So this is the X bar of this area. So take the price before sliding and then you slide it. Okay, here this one. Slide the slider. Okay, by using the actions class you slide it. And drag and drop by the offset. You want to slide only on the x-axis, not on the y-axis. That's why y-axis is 0. And then build and perform. Then take the price after sliding. You can run this. This is what we had done last time. It has slided. You can see 40 pounds is the price after sliding. So let's see. Price before sliding is 25 pounds. Price after sliding is 40 pounds. So it is working fine now. Okay, now let's go ahead with some other understandings. I hope I have taken up the drop down part, if I'm not wrong, by using the select class. Let me check it out. Selenium 3, Selenium 4. We have used also frames. We have also used frames. Hmm. This is okay. This is a cross-browser testing. This is your all the okay with links which can be applied to anybody. Okay, so we've done that. This is your okay. That BBC where you're using the stale element reference exception comes. I've done that also. What is this? jQuery where we had used to switch to a frame. Okay, and we've also seen how to switch from the frame to the main page. Okay, we've done that. And this was the fifth part in which JavaScript executor and the actions class comes into force. Okay. I think we have not done the select class, which I can see. So we'll see the select class out here. So let's go and create a new project. I will call this as Selenium 6. Okay, I'm going to use the NuGet package to Selenium bars. I'm going to install the WebDriver DLL 3.141. I'm also going to install the Selenium support, and we'll be using Chrome driver, so I can install this. I have my Chrome driver has now upgraded to 77. You can see this. So I wanted to tell you this, that you need now Chrome driver 77 version. If you have 76 and your browser of Chrome has upgraded to 77, don't use 76, then use 77 and install the new one. Okay, that's more than enough. Okay, I'm going to rename this C# file. Calling this as using select class. I'll make this as public classes, public method. Okay, I'm going to create a function as public static void. I'll call this function as using select class. Okay, first thing is that I need to create at the class level. I'm going to create a global variable, and that will be. Now, remember one particular thing. All these browser-specific classes like Chrome driver, Internet Explorer driver, or Firefox driver implements the WebDriver interface. Okay, so I can basically create an upcasting like this. I will declare a global variable as public static iWebDriver. Okay, and I have to use the Selenium OpenQA.Selenium. First of all, that. I'm going to use OpenQA.Selenium.Chrome browser. Okay. Now, if you go to the documentation part of it, you will also understand that a couple of things. What I'm going to do that I'll show you later on. Documentation, let us go. If you want to see documentation, you have to go to seleniumhq.org and go to the downloads and go to the API docs. Here you will see that there is select class. Select element class or select class? 1 minute. Select element it should be. Platform timeouts. It's not an out part of this. Yeah, select element class. Okay, it's part of OpenQA selenium.support.ui. So you have to import this namespace. So using OpenQA.Selenium dot support dot UI. Okay. Now let's look at the select element class rather. and it uses this package namespace rather, uh, and it's a class which implements the iWrap element interface, and select class is used. When is select element class used? Let me write it down. Select element class is used when we have drop downs created with select tag. Now drop downs are also created by the div tag. Drop down is also created by the div tag. If the drop down is created by any other tag, then do not use the select element class. Okay. Now, what does this particular class contain? This is the constructor of this class. If you click on the constructor takes the iWeb element. That means the address of the dropdown. First thing. That means the object cannot be a no argument object. The object will take an address of the element. Second is that these are the properties. All selected options will get these are all properties which, and this is the get property, gets all the selected options within the selected element. That means whatever options you have selected, there might be certain drop downs which will have multiple selections. And there are certain options which can only select one option. So if you have a drop down with multiple selections, you can use this. All selected options, it will basically give you what are the options you have selected is multiple. This can be used basically to check out if a drop-down has multiple options to be selected or not. So gets a value indicating whether the parent element supports multiple selections. Parent element means the drop-down supports multiple selections or not. Options, get the list of options. So if you want to see what are the options present in the element, you can use this. Okay, so we will see one by one. Select selected options. What will this do? This property will give you all the options that you have selected from the drop down. If it is a multiple option chosen kind of a drop down, you can see what are the options you have selected. Wrapped element property gets the address wrapped by the object. Okay. Then methods, deselect all. Now, if you have a drop down where you have multiple options that can be selected, deselect all will deselect all the options that you have chosen. Clear? Deselect by index. You can deselect a drop down with multiple options by the index number of the option. Deselect by text. You can deselect a particular option by text. If you have a multiple option based drop down, deselect by value. You can deselect an option by the value attribute. Okay, now if you look at, let me show you this particular URL. Rediff email account. Let me log out. Now if you look at, there is a drop down out here called day, which is created by the select tag. Okay, so you have to use the select element class. If you expand it, there's an options tag. The options that you see out here are made by the option tag. An option tag has a value attribute, and this value attribute will have a value in string, and this 01 is in black color, which is the text. So when you see out this one, deselect by value, this is nothing but deselect by the value attribute present in the option class. Deselect by the value 01. So we can have an option, a multiple option based drop down where you can deselect a particular option by the value. Then you have equals, determines whether the specified object is equal to the current object. These are methods coming from the object superclass. This is not of importance right now. All these are methods of the object superclass. Select by index. You can select an option by the index number. Index number means what? Let's say this one. It starts with day 0102. This will have the 0 index. This will have 1 index. This will have 2 index, 3 index, 4, 5, 6. Index number will always start with 0. So if I want to select by the index number. Let's say I want to select day. I have to use the 0 index. That is what you can see. What do you mean by select by index? Select by text. Select by text means text of a drop down will be always in this particular portion in black color. So you can select by the text, or the third one, select by the value. Okay. So these are the methods. So with certain methods I can show you. Let me have to first directly go to this particular part. Copy. So now use driver equals to new Chrome driver. And then we have to maximize the browser window. So you can use driver dot manage method. Manage window to maximize it. And then I will navigate to rediff mail create account page. So driver dot navigate is a method present, and there navigate method has a go to URL method. You can go to this URL. Excuse me. And let's say I want to work with drop down day, which is created by the select tag. So since it is created by the select tag, I have to use the select element class. Create an object of the select element class. S1 is equal to new select element. And as I have told you, this will take the address of the element. So how do you get the address? This is the drop down. Okay. Go copy CSS selector or copy XPath, whatever you want to. I'm going to copy CSS selector. So I'll have to first keep the address. Address of the day drop down. So address, if you want to keep the address, you have to use the iWeb element interface. Address of day drop down. So you have to use driver dot find element. Find element by the CSS selector. This is CSS selector. And given parenthesis. This is the address. So you have to pass this address in the constructor of select element class. Once you have done that, then you can do whatever you wish to. So certain things I can show you. So let's say I want to use, I cannot use all selected options because this is not a drop down which will allow you to have multiple selections. You can only select one. Okay. Next is multiple. Is it a multiple selection? Gets a value indicating whether the parent element supports multiple action selections. So this will, if I use this particular property, for this drop down, it will give you Boolean false. So to check if day drop down allows multiple selections. So you have to use this S1 dot is multiple property, and this will give you a Boolean value. So put it to a bool variable a equal to this S1 dot is multiple. Sorry, property, right? And then I can print out console dot write line. And just print out the value of a. This I can do. What else you can do? Get the list of all the options from the selected element. What are the different options present? So to get all options present in the drop down. So S1 dot options, and options returns, I think, iList interface. iList interface, I have told you, is like ID only collection. List interface supports indexing and duplication of data. So return is the iList, and the iList of, what is this happening? Why is the insert button being used? S1 dot options interface. Return type of this is iList of iWeb element. You can see that. Just over your mouse. iList of iWeb element. So iList of iWeb element, and all options, I can say, is equal to this, and let's see, a capital L. Okay, and then you can use to first use checkout. Let's say from this options, all options, checkout the count, number of options present. First, we can use that. So I can put this in an integer, num of options is equal to this, and then you can do console dot write line. You can write down number of options in day drop down are plus num options. Let's run this. You can get number of options, and after that you want to check out all the text of all the options. So you can use the for loop. The for loop will be used to travel to the index number of all the options present in the drop down. And let's say variable x represents the index number variable which starts with 0, and x should be less than num options. Now this is the number of count of the number of options present, and then x plus plus, and then I can use console dot write line, and what I'll do is this will have all information about how many are there, what are their text, what are their attributes, and their values will be kept in this particular variable. Or options dot element at is present. Uh, Compared to this as element at is not there. These are the only methods of so what are the methods of this dot? So many are there, right? All options. So I'm using num options. I should use all options. Sorry, this shouldn't be num options. It will give you a number of elements only. Oops, what's happening? Control C, Control V. Num options dot element at index number represented by x dot text property. This will give me text of all the options present in the drop down. So let's run this. My fault. The fault is because of the fact that I have not made this as a startup project. But again, my fault. The fault is because this is the function created, right? Have I called this function inside the main method? I have not done that. So how will you expect the execution and the compilation of the code? Call this particular method and this belongs to this class. You can call the class. Static references should be called with the class name. Now you can run. So day I should get, so number of options are 32 and these are the text of the day, including day also is a text. You can see that. Okay. What else we can do? Let's look at this part. Selected options, definitely by default what is selected in the, right now day is selected, right? Day is selected by default when you open up the website. Okay, so you can check. So we know by default day is selected when we open the website. So to check what is selected, this will work fine if you have a multiple option based drop down, but you can't use this right now. So this is not a multiple selection right now. So right now what is selected I'll show you, and this will be s1 dot selected option, and this will return a string value, I believe so. Okay, iWeb element. The return type is a iWeb element. Okay, what is it returning? If no option is selected, you'll throw if no such element exception, and it is of type iWeb element. It returns iWeb element. Okay. dot, you can get the text of it, whatever is selected by default. Is it displayed or not? I can say it is displayed or not. You can get the text. I can put this in a string variable txt and print that out. Whatever is selected will come. Console.writeLine. Whatever the selection is there, it will come out. So this is how we can use it. And then what are the other methods we can use? Properties. I cannot use deselect by all because I have not selected anything. So I can now select the dates. I will first select the index number. So which date do you want to select? Let's say I want to select the date 9th by the index number. So this is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9th index will have 0, 9. So let's see that. Select 0, 9 day 0, 9 day by index. So I can use s1 dot select by index, and the index is 9. And after doing that, I can use this again. Copy C. Now we can see what is selected. Now 09 day is selected. To check what is selected, you have to use S1 dot selected option. This will be W1. This will be text 1. This will be W1. This will be text 1. You can see that. And then we can also, after that, let's say I want to change the date. I want to change the date to 04. Now I would like to go by the text of it. So 04 is out here. The text is 04, you can see in black color. So I can just select select 04 by the 04 day by the text. So s1 dot select by the text, and it will have a string argument. It will be 04. And then again I want to check what is selected. So I can have to again use the same code. Copy and paste it. So to check what is selected, s1 dot select options will be w2, this will be text2. This will be w2, be text2. And let's say then I want to select the date after that 06. So you want to select 06 by the value. Value is 06, you can see. So you can just go out here, and just copy the whole thing. Repeat it. Select 06 day by the value attribute. So you have to use S1 select by value, and you have to give the text as 06. And then use the same option. What is selected? W3, this will be text 3. This will be W3, this will be text 3. Okay, this will happen very fast. So what I can do is, I'll give a time period. Thread.sleep. And this thread belongs to the namespace called as system.threading. Thread.sleep let's say 5 seconds is enough. 5000 milliseconds into 5 seconds. This I will do, copy this, and then it will select, then again it will wait for 5 seconds, then it will show the selected option, wait for 5 seconds, then it will select 04, wait for 5 seconds, tell you what is the option selected, wait for 5 seconds, then you select by value, wait for 5 seconds, and then you can again wait after this, and then you can have the provision to close the browser. So driver dot close. And let's run this now. Now by default day is selected, now 9 is selected, then 04 will be selected, and then 06 will be selected. Okay, now we will see what are the things that are required for us and what are you getting. So we will see by default days coming out or not. Let's see. By default day is coming, you can see. This is where this day. And then we selected uh, my index number 9. What is the selection? It should come as 9. So it is coming as 09, you can see. And then you are selecting 04. So whatever you have selected should come as 04. That's coming. And then you have selected 06. And that's what it is coming out here. 06. So everything is working fine. Okay, now before I close it, I'll show how to work with drop down not created by the select tab. Not created by the select tab. One minute. Okay. So Okay. And I'll show you how to work with drop down which is not part of the select tag. Now, if you look at this particular drop down, that's not created with the select tag, it's created with the div tag. Okay, so how to work with it. Now, let's say I want to select, I want to use US Canada. Okay, now I have to right click and inspect US Canada. This is US Canada, I believe, yeah. So I want to select that. Now, what do you do? Generally, manually, what do you do? You have to click on the element and then you get the options, then you choose the options. The same thing you have to do. You have to first click on this element at this is the state of the application. By default, India will be out there. So what I need to do is use the phone ISD code. So first click on the drop down to get all options. So we can use driver dot find element by the XPath and what is the XPath of that element? So let's go and spy upon this. This is the drop down, this is there. You can take XPath or CS selector, whatever you wish to. So that's the XPath. And dot click method. Now when you click the options comes, manually also you can see, when you click the options comes, then you hover your mouse over USA, right click over it and inspect. This is the HTML script of that. So I will take a CSS selector or export, whatever you wish to. I'm taking the CSS selector. Now I'm going to choose the option USA. So driver dot find element by the CSS selector whose value is this and dot click, simple dot click method, and then we can wait for 5 seconds again and then close the browser. Let's see it is working fine or not. So 04 and then it will be 06. Then we will choose the mobile number, the country code. Let us choose and you can see. So everything is working fine for the drop down. So this is how you work with the select class and specifically work, you have to use the select element class to work with drop downs created by the select tag. Okay. So what is remaining is, I think we have to work with how to switch between windows, how to work with alerts, and we will also see an integration of Selenium script with AutoIT script. AutoIT is a functional tool. It's a functional testing tool, open source, which is used for Windows testing. Now, Selenium can only take care of web applications because it can only find out web elements like this. But in some situations, you will find out that Windows components are coming out while you click on a web element. Now, this is a web element, choose file. I'm opening over the browser. When you click on this choose file, you will see this is a Windows component, Windows pop-up. These are all Windows buttons, a Windows element. Now, Selenium cannot work with Windows element. Okay, so you have to use a third-party open source tool called as AutoIT to work with this Windows element and integrate the AutoIT script with Selenium script. So that I have to show. Windows switching I have to show. I have to show you how to work with alerts and uh, apart from that, yeah, wait interface. Wait interface. I have to show you that and then we'll basically see what is remaining. Customization is remaining. Customize of XPath and CSS selector. That is remaining. That should finish up your Selenium. So alerts, Windows switch, working with Auto IT, uh, wait interface is 4, customization, XPath and CSS selector is 5. So if you finish these 5 topics, your Selenium will be over. But meanwhile, the 2 topics are remaining for your C sharp, that is your interface and encapsulation. That also will be taken, and your exception handling as well as your file handling concept. So totally, I think there were 5 plus 4, total 9 topics of Selenium and C sharp. When we finish up that, so what I can do is uh, today is Sunday. I wanted to have this on Saturday. Saturday only Nisarga got. I think Nisarga was there. Varsha could not connect. Others were not there. So I will see that we have on. For example, I think if it's possible to have it on a week. Yeah, framework is also out there. So framework we'll do it after we finish this, right? So there are 9 topics to be finished on Selenium and C sharp, and then we have to use the framework. We'll be using the NUnit framework. So we'll do that. So I needed to basically see that a lot of classes we have missed because of people not there. I was not there once, and then there was a Ganesha Chaturthi and all, because of which 2 weeks gone. We could have finished by this time. So what I want to ensure is that even if one person is joining, I'm going to take the session from now onwards. I'm going to record anyways, and everybody can see it. That is the leverage. People are taking that since the recording will come, so we'll probably not attend it. But yes, if the general reason, then fine. But what I want to ensure is that this week on a weekday, I would like to take up certain sessions because I would like to connect and finish up the remaining 9 topics of Selenium and C Sharp before I go to the framework development with NUnit framework. So you let me know in the group what days you are available, what times you are available, and based on that, I can send you a link. Because please remember that October 4th, I will be out of station and I'll be only back on October 12th. Before that, I want to finish everything. Okay, by September, I want to finish. By this week, I want to finish up Selenium and C Sharp and then go forward with the framework development. Okay, so just let me know in the group that what days and what times you are available. I will set up links. I can take up, actually speaking, truly speaking, I can take up sessions on a weekday or everyday basis. Okay, I don't have any problem. But I need to finish it up now because people are losing interest otherwise. Okay, any questions you guys have, you can ask me. I will send you the codes, the whole stack I will send, and I'll also send you the videos. That's fine. Today, I think Lakshmi, Nisharga, and Varsha, others have not joined, like Prachi and all. So I will not wait for another person. So let's say one person is joining, I will record it and show it to that particular person and send it to you guys. If nobody is joining, then I cannot take the class. At least one person I need to take the class. Any questions, Nisharga, Lakshmi, and Varsha you have, please ask me. Okay, fine. So let me know in the group, put it in the group that Nisarga, please do me a favor. Please put in the group that if one person is also joining, I will take this session. That is what I've said. And this week, I want to finish up Selenium. and what do you call C sharp remaining by this week on a weekday. What time you guys are available? Please let me know. Based on that, I can do the sessions, and so that at least by next weekend, next Saturday, Sunday, I can start with your annual framework. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.